What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Half the Battle Toys Unicron Separation Kit. So this kit allows you to take the Haslab Unicron and separate the planet mode from the robot mode. This is useful especially if you like to display both or you have the space to display both. I personally have been interested in this set because I do want to make use of that figure and make two figures out of one. Personally, even though the transformation is relatively easy and simple, it does take some effort and literal, physical strength because you got to move a lot of parts there. And I do like the idea of being able to display the planet separately and take the kibble off of the Unicron figure and make it useful for something. So if that's your interest, then this kit will definitely help you out in doing that. Now, I did contact him and he was able to send this to me, and he gave me a whole bunch of info and description about how this kit is made, kind of how his production works. So he is producing these basically full time. His machines are running 24 hours a day in terms of printing this PLA plastic as well as these resin pieces here. So these two pieces here are made out of resin, and then this as well, and then the rest of this is made out of PLA. They're all relatively sturdy and strong pieces, so they all feel good. It's a good quality plastic, good quality resin, good paint as well. So this is painted to match the Haslab Unicron colors. Same for this. The rest goes inside the bot, so you don't see it, so you don't need to paint it. Right now he is sold out, so I know I'm doing this video and advertising this product, but you can't actually buy it right now. So if you're interested, hit up the link in the description below for his Etsy page, and then there's a link to contact him about being interested in the next batch of orders. All right, let me show you how this goes together before we get the planet pieces off of Unicron and start assembling things. I just want to show you structurally how this goes together. So go ahead and take this piece here, and this is going to slide in. So you can see there's a slot right there, and it does have a groove here, so you don't want to jam it up, you want to slide it in. All right, and make sure you have this oriented such that the three tabs here are on the top. So slide that in, and you should end up with a T like that. All right, next, go ahead and take this piece here. This is going to just slide in like that. So you should have something like that. Next, take this L bracket here, and this L bracket is going to slide in. I think you want the mushroom peg facing forward. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% on that, but when we put it together, we'll definitely know for sure. And then this is going to slide into here, like that. And then same for this side, slide it in through here. There we go. And then we can take these ring posts. Those are going to, this is for the rings of the planet. We're going to go on the outside here. And I'm fitting it loosely because we still have to put this together inside the planet. And then this is finally going to go, this is the back plate. This goes on the back of Unicron. Since we're taking the arms out, he's not going to have this anymore, right? These spikes and this part actually comes out of the arms of Unicron. Well, since we're removing the arms, you're not going to have this, right? So we need to make a plate that replaces that. And that's what this is for. So this is going to slide on the end here. And again, it's a nice tight fit. Okay, and that's what the structure is going to look like when you're done. This piece here is actually a stabilizer, or I forgot the name of the part, but basically it goes on the bottom to hold the planet pieces together. So that's really it. That's how it goes together. Let's get Unicron out here and we'll show you the do-it-yourself disassembly of Unicron. So there we have Haslab Unicron and ready to start the work here. First thing you want to do is take off the wings, because you're going to be using this in the planet mode. Now the obvious question is, well, what about Unicron? He needs wings. There's a couple of different things you can do. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but there are some 3D prints you can either buy, or you can buy the kit for the a few other kits out there and use that here. But for now, just take these out and set those aside. You're also going to take off these pieces here. So pull off the blue pieces and then take this piece up, which we need for the planet mode. And same on this side. Whoops. That went flying. We'll have to go get that. Now, you can leave these on. I don't believe we need these for the combination. If we do and I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. But I believe you can leave those on there, on his arms. So if you prefer having those blue pieces there, you can leave it. If you prefer not to have them, you can take them off. But whatever works for you. All right, next we want to work on the legs and get all of this off. So go ahead and open up this panel here. That's kind of holding this arm in place. Once you take that off, you can take this panel that can fold downwards or upwards, doesn't really matter. So let's go upwards so it's out of the way. And then you're going to take this entire panel, pancakes I call it, and this is going to fold down. It is pegged in. You can see right there, there's a slot and the tab goes in there. So now that this is off, you can kind of see what's going on here. Let's move Unicron over. All right, and now you can see that there is a pin right here. Thankfully, we do not need to remove that pin. Everything can be done with screws. So just grab a screwdriver and you're going to remove this screw right here. It's a very long screw. It goes all the way through this piece right here. So go ahead and remove that screw. And that's right, so there's the screw out, and this is what you end up with. Nice set of pancakes. We'll set that aside. And don't lose the screw. You can just either put that back in or do whatever you want to do, but I would probably put it back in here just so you don't lose it, and if you ever want to recombine this, you can always do that. Right, then just fold that up and leave it like that. Or leave it down, actually, sorry. Leave that down so it's out of the way. All right, same for here. Now this one's even easier. This one is actually on a mushroom peg. I literally just pulled it off with just hand strength. You're gonna fold that down and leave that down. Now if you don't like that, this is on a pin as well. I mean, I'm not gonna remove any pins, but if you wanted to, you could remove that pin. Same for this one. If you wanted to, you could remove that pin and take that little piece off. Me personally, I think it looks just fine with that little bits on there. In fact, I think it looks kind of cool because it just adds to the, you know, extra complexity on his leg. So I'm gonna leave that there. All right, the last piece here, and again, this is kind of your choice, how you wanna handle it. But this piece down here is on a pin. So you're probably going to end up leaving that there. But this piece here is on a screw. So we can remove this screw piece here. So go ahead and again, take your screwdriver and unscrew this panel. And once you have that off, you can pull this out. And there you end up with this little piece here. Now, again, I would suggest you can't put the screw. Let's see, can you put the screw back in here? Yeah, you can't put the screw back in there. So I would suggest you put this away somewhere and leave this attached so you don't lose the screw, just in case you ever want to reassemble this. But there's the piece you're going to remove. All right, so that's one leg done. Now we're going to do the other thing, same thing on the other leg. So here's the other leg, basically undone. We're going to take all that off. We'll be right back. Okay, and just for completeness, there are the legs fully disassembled. You can see much less kibble, much cleaner. All you have is this little arm. And like I mentioned earlier, if you want to remove that, you can. All right, next we'll take care of the back. So go ahead and take these and rotate them out of the way. And then come to the sides here. You're going to release these panels. This is just untransforming him, just like you would normally. Remove these clips. Unclip this from here if it hasn't already released itself. I do have him leaning forward against this backdrop because I just need to be able to show you without having him fall down. Unfurl all of this, and there is actually a single screw. Hopefully I can show it to you. Oh, there we go. There's a single screw right here, and that holds this on so you can see where it's pivoting. It's pivoting right here. Now just so you can see what I've done here, here's the hole where it actually had this one has a washer. So I'd be careful not to lose that as well. But that is attached right here. I haven't figured out if this piece comes out yet. I'm going to take a look and see if this can be slid all the way out or somehow removed. But if you can't remove it, you can just leave it there just like that. I do think it may look better with it removed, so I am going to try to remove that. But this is the screw you want to remove, and that takes the entire back panel, including the maw and the horns, all the way off. So there's Unicron completely cleaned up. You can see the back cable has been removed, the leg cable has been removed. Now, I didn't find a way to get this off. I was trying to do everything with one screw, right? So these side panels removed just by a mushroom peg. These removed with one screw on the sides. And then we removed this piece with a single screw. So really up until this point, I've removed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws to get everything off, which is really impressive that it was just those few screws holding together and holding the planet mode onto Unicron. So that's really it. That's all you really need to take off. You don't need this piece. I will see for my own personal interest whether this can be removed or not. But for the purpose of this video, you don't need to remove that. So here's what we're left with now that we've taken all the planet parts off. Obviously, there's actually duplicates of these two pieces. And we're going to unfold them and basically turn them into their semi-sphere or whatever amount of planet it is. But basically just unfold them. Right now we have all the panels kind of unfurled and tabbed in and solidified. We want to sort of put together the bottom of the planet. So we're going to take 2 of these panels. Now they're exactly the same on both sides. They're symmetrical. But you don't want to make sure you have the bottom. The way you know is it's got these over-under tabs here. And the other side won't fit there. So that's how you're going to know. So go ahead and get these panels on the bottom. And that'll be the beginning of our assembly. It'll start to take shape. So I'm going to do that kind of off camera. But this is just like the transformation. You're going to fit all those panels in anyway. So not much to show there. But you can see this planet doesn't stay together because there's nothing for this structure to attach to, right? It's just sort of sitting loose. And that's actually why you need this kit, right? You need this kit to form the inner structure of this planet. If you want this to be something, you've got to put it together. So let me get these 2 panels onto the side and we'll be right back. All right, there is the bottom half of the planet assembled with the back piece here. And it's just sort of balancing on my setup here on my desk. But you need one more piece, so that's this piece right here. So that's going to fit right here. There's 2 slots. It kind of keeps the front from coming apart. So otherwise this part tends to pop apart. So you need something to hold that together, and that's what this is for. So go ahead and get that pegged in there. And that's just going to stay right there. So the next step is go ahead and take the stand and insert that through the middle of the planet. As you can see, I have the stand there. This slot here on the back of the frame, which we put together earlier, that's going to fit right over that. So you're going to go ahead and slide that down. This is very difficult to remove once you put it in, so just be ready to be done once you put this in. So that slides all the way down very, very securely into that slot. Right? Now we're going to basically take this mushroom peg here, and that's going to assemble onto this spot right there. You want to put the whole thing in so it basically lines up on this inner edge. Same on this side, you've got the mushroom peg here, and that's going to line up with here. And then you're going to take these 2 tabs here, and I'm sorry it's tough to show everything on camera, but you're going to take these 2 tabs right here. It's going to slot into here. All right, there it is with the bottom half assembled. You can see I've got the 2 mushroom pegs installed there and right there. And then this part is actually tabbed in right here. You can see that color matching is really, really close. You did a great job with that. All right, next we're going to take these, which are the spikes for the side here. And those are going to fit right over. You can see there's a little slot, a little cutout right there. That cutout is meant for this right here. So go ahead and get this inserted onto the ring post, and that's going to sit right in there. This is going to attach to the planet, so we need the top half of the planet, but put these on first so that you can attach those once you get it. So go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll be right back. All right, now we got both of these spike pieces on the ring post. We're going to take this top half of the planet. That's going to come down. Make sure you have it all pegged together. And same kind of thing, you see the 2 tabs are going to go into that slot right there. And now we're going to take the sides, the final pieces here, and get this assembled. That's going to kind of hold together. Actually, you can put these down for now because those are going to have to peg in anyways. So you can just set them down like that. But basically, we're going to get these side pieces in. Those are going to peg in all across here. So right it is with one side assembled. You can see, actually I was mistaken about this. It doesn't tab in, it just kind of sits on the inside there. It's not going to go anywhere. It just, I wanted to let you know that doesn't peg in there. All right, so go ahead and we'll rotate this on the other side. This takes up my whole review. I actually have no space left, but go ahead and do the other side exactly the same way. Just get that pegged in and then rotate this up and get that kind of inside there. So there is the planet mode fully assembled. Now I haven't put the rings in because I wouldn't be able to rotate it like this because it's so big it won't fit in my review area here. But you can see pretty nicely done. The spikes here on the side, they do kind of just sit there. You know, they're not tabbed in, but they're fine. They don't pop out or anything. The back plate is actually really well done. You can see the color matching is pretty darn good. Very close. And then the spikes actually match very well with the existing spikes. It's almost seamless. You can't really tell. So final thoughts on the Half the Battle Toys Haslab Unicron separation kit. Let's talk about the positives. And first I wanted to mention I did install the rings here. They are installed exactly the same way as the stock version, so I didn't show that on camera. You basically stick them in the ring post, assemble them at the top and bottom, and you're all set. Now, there are painted ring posts now, so the tolerances on these ring posts are a little bit tighter than the original, so you do kind of have to put a little force on there. So I recommend scraping out a little bit of paint from the inside of these ring posts. I'm going to make that recommendation to Half Battle Toys not to paint the inside of the ring post, just to give it a little better tolerance. But other than that, this kit goes together so well. So let's talk about the positives. The structural rigidity, the overall design, the look and feel, everything feels like it is a professional product. This thing is not going anywhere. The planet is solid. It feels just as solid or better than when it had Unicron, the robot, inside of here. Another positive is obviously you get to separate the two, but a huge advantage is you've gotten rid of all the kibble off of the Unicron robot mode, making him more stable, more easier to pose, more fun to play with. Same with the planet. The planet is lighter. It doesn't feel like it's going to kind of fall. Now, I never felt it was going to fall, but it's much lighter, easier to move around, and just overall just feels solid. So that kit definitely feels good. All the plastic and resin feel good. I would be careful with the spikes on the back. I did have a couple damages during shipping, and not really the fault of Half the Battle Toys, but I would just be careful because they don't feel as pliable as these, which are probably a different plastic because they are definitely more bendy. So that's about the only part I'd be careful with. Everything else feels solid and it's not going anywhere. It's not going to break. Another positive is the paint that he's applied is a really good match. It really looks good. I guess he must have a mix of paint there because the orange is almost a perfect match for the orange. Negatives wise, I will say it is quite a bit of work to get it into this mode. You saw, as I went through the review, how to get it here. And I wouldn't do it again. So if you do this, I recommend you just leave it, because you're not going to be taking this apart and putting it back together over and over. If you make the decision to display in both robot and the planet mode, then of course you should probably not buy this kit if you don't want to do that. The other negative is, of course, now Unicron in robot mode doesn't have wings. Well, that's the good news, is Half the Battle Toys is working on a kit to have add-on wings for Unicron. So that way you don't need to move the wings back and forth between the two. So I'm going to leave my wings on the planet. I'm going to leave Unicron without wings for now until I get that kit. I will be reviewing it on this channel. Hopefully I can get a set. If I can't, I'll buy one, and it's well worth it to me. Now, this kit costs $170. The link is in the description below. He is sold out, but he will be making probably a third batch, a third production run, because he's now have equipment to produce it. Now, if that's not your thing, if you are more interested in producing your own version of this, the good news is that Half the Battle Toys, in partnership with another fellow, Bint, B-Y-N-T, they've made these files available on thingiverse.com. So you can actually print your own version. I did print these on ABS plastic. It did come out slightly different kit. It is a slightly different design. The tolerances are a little bit looser on this kit than they are on that one. But if you want to do it, you have the printer, you have the plastic, you have the ability to paint, because you will need to paint this since it's black or whatever color you printed in into an orange that matches. Then you can do that. The link for that is also in the description below. You can print your own version and get it painted up and put this together. But I do recommend this kit if you're looking to separate your planet from the robot mode. It definitely adds to the display factor, and overall it's just a fun thing to have. So that's it for today. Sorry for the long final thoughts. I really wanted to get in all of the positives, negatives, and what you should consider before buying this kit. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.